Hi, this is Christy with Guidepost to Wellness. I am outside taking a quick break. Those of you that have been on my videos before know I love to be outside and feel the sun on my skin, and after the long winter and everything like that, it feels great. If you're a first timer joining this channel, you'll find that we talk about a lot of different topics that have to do with your overall wellness. I have an autoimmune disease, how that fits in, a lot of those different factors. So today what I wanted to do is talk a little bit more about brain entrainment. I am a big fan of mindfulness and meditation, and with everything that's going on in society right now with the pandemic and different things, I've been blogging on some things with stress. I talk about stress management a lot. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about brain entrainment. I'll put the links down for a couple product reviews, but the big thing about meditation and brain entrainment is that it's kind of a shortcut, because anybody that's tried meditation before knows that it takes practice. It's really hard to turn off the brain. I remember the first time I went and did a meditation with these folks, and they darkened the room, you laid down and you were comfortable, and soft music was playing and incense and all that kind of stuff, and I could not shut off my mind, and I thought, wow, I'm just a colossal failure at this. So it's really hard to quiet the mind, and it does take practice, and especially during times of high stress with a lot of things going on in the mainstream media that are out there kind of scary all the time, exaggerating, blowing things out of proportion. If you do have a family member that's having a health crisis, any of those things are going to cause a lot of stress. So that's why if you can get some help with getting your brain into the state of relaxation, why not? And that's where brain entrainment therapy, audio therapy comes in. So we all have probably experienced times where something audio has helped us with our mood. It could be the sound of the ocean, the waves, the trees. Right now I'm listening to birds. I love that sound. Even music, how it can either pump you up or mellow you out. So it's the same type of concept. And we've been researching brain entrainment therapy for over 170 years. Now, there are times when it's not something that you want to use, and that's one thing about the programs that I recommend and use myself. They have a disclaimer, and I'll put that page down there. You never want to do it while you're operating a motor vehicle. There's some other times if you're pregnant, they don't recommend this type for children, some things like that. But all in all, because it's just audio waves that you're listening to, it's tremendously safe. So real quick, brainwave 101. So our brains work on frequencies that we can measure. If anybody's ever had an EEG measuring your brain waves. So if you are concentrating, or like I'm doing this video right now, my brain waves are probably going to be about 12 hertz or higher, because I'm focused, I'm concentrating, I'm paying attention to things outside of myself. That's going to put my brain waves at about 12 hertz or even higher. If you're relaxed, if you just kind of close your eyes, sit out in the sun like I like to do sometimes just to relax at lunch, then your brain waves may slow down a little bit, and you may be more in the alpha, relaxed awareness kind of stage, and that's 8 to 12 hertz. Theta, that's where you really want to get to for a lot of health improvements with meditation, and that's where they've actually measured brain waves of long-term meditators, yogis, and stuff like that, and they are between 4 and 7 hertz, and that's kind of daydreamy, drowsy. We naturally go into this state a lot of times before we fall asleep and when we're just waking up, and you have a really nice slow heart rate and breathing rate, all of the things that are really good for decreasing your stress and healing the body. And then delta is less than 4 hertz, and that's deep sleep. And the crazy thing is even though I'm mostly in beta right now, actually all 4 of the waves are going on in our brains at any one time. It's just whatever is the most amplified will give your overall brain state at that time. And that's where using tools like brain entrainment, and I use Brain Ev. My husband uses that one the most, and I have used it. Right now I'm using Zen 12, which is the shorter meditations. I also use Brain Salon, which is kind of a mixture of programs that can make you relax, concentrate, wake up, different things. And they have a program, Nitro Focus, that I want to work on next, and get a copy of that and test it out and give a product review. And then Sleep Salon's great too. So for Brain Ev and Zen 12 primarily, I'll talk about those for more of the mindfulness meditation. They use 3 different types of brain entrainment. So they use binaural beats, which is really interesting. They discovered this in 1839, and basically if I listen to 400 hertz in my right ear and 410 in my left ear, my brain turns it into 10, the difference between the two. So that's how you use binaural beats. And Zen 12 and Brain Ev are 2 programs that work better with headphones. You don't have to, since they use 3 different technologies, but they work the best, because then that way you're getting something in your left ear and something in your right ear. And your brain just wants to match it. So whenever it's using those different frequencies, your brain matches that. And the more you meditate, as these 2 programs are progressive, as you do them longer, then you're going to start to feel even more significant effects, and your brain will go into those states even more quickly. The next one that they use are called isochronic tones, or rhythmic type of things, where they're actually playing mini pulses or beats for 10 hertz, getting me into the good alpha wave state. That would be about 10 beats per second. That's the one thing that, for example, Brain Salon is the program where it's 6 30-minute programs that can take you into different states. And there's one called High Energy Espresso. There's a concentration one. And if you turn them up louder, you can actually hear the beats in the background. You can hear those. They aren't quite as well disguised as they are in Brain Ev and Zen 12. But that's what the rhythmic or isochronic tones are. Then they also use another type of entrainment called temporal entrainment, which is pretty scientific, and I don't completely understand it. I have to dig into it a little bit more, but from what I understand and glean from their great pages of questions and science and stuff, is that basically the temporal entrainment helps move you from one stage to another, because our brains are very dynamic. So if we want to stay in a state of alpha, like I said, was 8 to 12, you're not going to stay just in 10, and a program's not going to leave you just in 10 and just kind of drone on. It's going to go down to 7 and up to 9 and up and down and move you through the different waves. And that's where the temporal entrainment works. They actually stress and compress the rhythms and layer the different tones to kind of help you go between them. So that's what that's about. So the thing that I really like too about Brain Ev and Zen 12 specifically is that they're so easy to listen to. Now Brain Ev has 6 levels, and each level has a combination of natural sounds and some music. And the Zen 12 actually offers you your choice. They've got guided meditations, they have musical, and my favorites in almost every level are actually the nature sounds. But the thing that they do is you don't want to fall asleep when you're meditating to get the best benefit. So they actually have sounds in them. I think my husband's on level 4, the Brain Ev, and he loves it because just as he's almost falling asleep, he's listening to like a thunderstorm, then there'll be like a crack of thunder to kind of wake him up. And they do the same thing with bells and just changing sounds that just kind of keep you right there on the edge, right there in that theta stage, which is so healing for the mind and the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put I've got some review videos down below, and I'm going to put the links. There's so much information on the web pages, and they have some free demos, great money back guarantee. But the thing about it is, this is such a stressful time for everybody, and stress management is just something that we all can use the benefit of, no matter where we are in our lives and no matter how much stress we have. And it's something that if you've got a tool that you can use that can take as little as 12 minutes with Zen 12 or 30 minutes with Brain Ev, you just can't beat that with a stick as far as I go. So I'll put the links down below. I'd love to hear feedback from anybody that's tried any of these programs or other brain entrainment. I would love to hear from you. So please feel free to share this information also. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are feeling a lot of stress right now, which is just counterintuitive to, keeping our bodies strong so that we can beat off this virus and handle the stress and go on and continue with our quality of our lives. So please feel free to share. And as always, subscribe and like. And if you're interested in any health coaching, please take a look at the link down below and reach out to me and we can set up a session. Take care and be well.